As you know, the grading policy states that grades should be 50% or higher. And so there are some things that you can do in your grade book to help implement that particular policy. So I want to look at this particular column for my students that I have graded. So there are some students who I hadn't received their submission, so I used the exceptions and added it as incomplete. Right now, this blank does not factor into their grade. I have the opportunity at the end of the marking period to come back through here and say, because let's just say by keeping it as incomplete, I've given the students an opportunity for this to be in their overdue list and they'd be able to submit. So now that it's the end of the marking period, I need to now manually assign the lowest grade of 50%. Here as well, they received a 45, and since the lowest grade is 50, I might want to add a note. And maybe that's just for my purposes, not for the students. And maybe I'll go back to this original one. It says, and that way I have a record of what originally happened. So for this student, it was marked as missing, which defaulted to 0, which is why I recommend that you use incomplete, and then you can just say missing. And you can do that as well. And so one of the things that you can now some things that I can also do is anything that's marked as missing, I can have it highlight so I know that I can come through and manually change all of those to 50. And I can add my comments. One of the other things that I have the opportunity to do is look at anything that needs grading or graded but has a new submission as well. One of the things I can also do here is edit these particular items. Let's see here. Here's a column where I don't have any grades, so I can set all of those grades. So let's just say I know that at a minimum, I want to start with 50, and then I have a list of which students actually scored above that. So what I can then do is go to my actual graded item, and if students had submitted work, I could grade it here, and that way anyone who didn't submit it already has that 50. I can also manipulate the grades here so that if I see how many students submitted, I know that everybody else has a 50%. One of the other things you could do is instead of that, you could grade each of the submitted items and then apply a 50 here for anyone who didn't meet that minimum.